In today's video we will see the discovery of the world's first serial killer and also the reason why the head of serial killer Diogo Alves from Portugal is kept in storage. The discovery of what could be the first serial killer in history dates back to around 400,000 years ago, in a cave known as Cima de los Huas, located in Spain. In this cave, bone remains attributed to Homo heidelberg, an ancestral species of Neanderthal man, were found. These remains, dating to the Middle Pleistocene, not only revealed human presence in the region but also intrigued scientists with their unusual lesions. By analyzing the bones, researchers discovered evidence of blunt trauma, indicating repeated assaults with hard objects such as rocks or wood. These injuries were not consistent with accidental injuries, but rather with a form of intentional violence. Furthermore, the remains did not appear to have been disposed of there naturally, suggesting that the cave was not a place of habitation but rather a repository of human remains. The discovery of these intriguing pieces of evidence raised the hypothesis that the cave could have been the site of what we would today consider a serial killer. The idea of a prehistoric individual perpetrating a series of brutal homicides challenges many of our assumptions about society and human behavior at the time. Although the concept of a serial killer as we understand it today did not exist in that prehistoric context, the idea of an individual perpetrating serial murders offers a new perspective on the history of human violence. Evidence of prehistoric crime found in Los Huas Cima cave offers an intriguing glimpse into ancient violence. By analyzing the skeletal remains discovered at this site, scientists identified patterns of injuries consistent with repeated assaults. These injuries, caused by hard objects such as rocks or wood, suggest deliberate violent behavior on the part of an individual or group. The fact that at least 28 individuals had these injuries indicates the possibility of multiple victims, pointing to the existence of a prehistoric serial killer. Careful analysis of the remains revealed that the victims were struck several times, indicating continued brutality on the part of the attacker. In addition to the traumatic injuries, the arrangement of the remains within the cave suggests that the bodies were deliberately deposited there, rather than being left as a result of natural events. This suggests a deliberate intention on the part of the attacker to hide the bodies or discard evidence of their crimes. These findings challenge the traditional view of prehistoric societies as peaceful or less prone to violence. Instead, they suggest that violence and homicide may have been more common phenomena than previously thought, even in periods before modern civilization. In addition to the intriguing case of the Cima de los Huas cave, there are other examples of prehistoric murders that challenge our conceptions of ancient violence. One such notable case is the skull found in Romania, dated to approximately 33,000 years ago. This skull displays fractures consistent with baton blows, indicating an intentional act of violence. Skull injuries suggest the victim was attacked with significant force, resulting in serious and potentially fatal injuries. Forensic analysis of these remains revealed that the attacker used a blunt object to perpetrate the crime, indicating a deliberate intention to cause harm to the victim. The fact that the skull was found in a cave suggests that the murder may have occurred in a similar context to the Cima cave in Los Huas, where the bodies were deliberately hidden or discarded after the crime. Diogo Alves, considered the first documented serial killer in Portugal, was born around 1810 in Spain. At age 19, he moved to Lisbon, Portugal in search of better opportunities. However, his life quickly took a dark turn. Unemployed and struggling with alcohol addiction, Alves fell into a state of despair following the death of his mother. It was in this context of adversity that Alves met Maria Gertrudes, a woman who would have encouraged him to enter the world of crime. Before long, he became an active criminal, carrying out a series of robberies that often ended in brutal homicides. His modus operandi included robbing victims and then pushing them from the top of the Águas Livres aqueduct, a water distribution complex in Lisbon. The method chosen by Alves to dispose of the bodies was particularly macabre. The Águas Livres aqueduct has an impressive height of 60 meters, which ensured that victims died instantly after falling. This effective approach allowed Alves to get rid of the evidence without raising suspicions about his responsibility for the crimes. Over 3 years, it is estimated that Alves claimed approximately 70 victims, although this number could be even higher. His criminal activity was only stopped in 1839, when he was finally captured by Portuguese authorities. Sentenced to death, Alves was executed by hanging in February 1841. The legacy of Diogo Alves, Portugal's first documented serial killer, is shrouded in mystery and intrigue. His macabre story not only shocks, but also offers fascinating insights into human nature and the psychology of crime. After his execution in 1841, part of Alves remained alive to this day. His head was preserved in formaldehyde and became a study piece at the Faculty of Medicine of the University of Lisbon. Under the care of Dr. and Professor José Lourenço de Luz, Alves' head was kept as a tool to explore the mysteries of the criminal mind. The preservation of Alves' head was a milestone in the history of neuropsychology, contributing to our understanding of criminal behavior and psychopathy. However, the preservation of Alves' head was not without controversy. Many have questioned the ethics behind this practice and wondered about the limits of science regarding respect for human remains. Despite criticism, Alves' head remains a valuable piece for forensic and neuropsychological studies. The case of Diogo Alves also marked a significant moment in the history of justice in Portugal. Their capture and execution highlighted the need to effectively deal with dangerous criminals and raised questions about public safety and the role of the legal system in preventing crime. Furthermore, Alves' case arouses curiosity and fascination to this day. His story is frequently revisited in works of fiction, documentaries, and academic studies, fueling public interest in criminal psychology and the mysteries of the human mind. Share this video to spread knowledge about the intriguing story of the first serial killers and subscribe to the channel for more fascinating content.